Hello, I'm so excited. Welcome back to the Energetically Efficient Show.
And storytelling with Lindsay Bednar. We've got a
amazing.
double episode today, releasing on both platforms.
And it kind of looks like a mirror image because we kind of look the same. That's what happens when you're sisters and have basically the same genes.
Right, except for I'm a lot younger, so there's that.
And I just look a lot younger, so there's that.
Fair.
Well, it's so good to see you. I love doing this. I'm like, we're talking all the time anyway, so we might as well just have a conversation and hit record.
I know. And I was thinking about what I wanted to kick off with you today. And this thing I feel like you and I have been talking about a lot lately, which I've just been feeling stronger more and more the last few days, is this sordid relationship with time and how it affects my day to day and how I'm getting, things together and getting down here to start recording with you. And I'm like, how is it already like 1:00 in the afternoon? Like what actually, all the things I wanted to accomplish today, how many of those did I actually do? I had a great meeting, got a workout in, but there were probably 10 other things that I wanted to do that just, I don't know where they went.
Isn't it wild how, well, and so you and I do talk about this a lot, and it's in part because the way that we experience time is changing. So I obviously learn about this in all the spiritual work that I do, but we will genuinely feel certain days where it's like a contraction of time. And then all of a sudden you'll have a day or a period of time during a day where it feels super expansive. And all of a sudden you'll see the clock at 1:00 and you're like, wait, what? I thought it was 5:00 at night already. It's only 1. This is amazing because I've already gotten so much stuff done. Some days I'll feel a tremendous contraction of time. And I had that earlier in the week. And then I don't remember if it was Friday of last week or something, but it got to be 3:00 and I'm like, wait, what? It's only 3? Look at all the things I've gotten. So I just think being able to not judge ourselves when it feels super contracted and then being able to take advantage of and feel grateful when it's actually super expansive is so important right now as time changes.
I know. And one of the themes we're coming up on is accelerated timelines. So, are we still going to have the back and forth, or is everything just going to be on warp speed and we're all going to be going, what?
It's a great question. I have asked that of mentors of mine, and my understanding is there's going to continue to be this, the way that I look at it, and I'm doing this for anyone who's watching us on video, it's like an accordion. It's expansion, contraction, expansion. And I do think eventually we'll just kind of like into this expansive time, but it's so impossible for our brains to even comprehend it right now. Because it's like, what do you mean there's not going to be a thing with time? I mean, for me, as you know, because of all my years as a lawyer, I was so married to the clock. Every single thing in my life was ruled by a timestamp that envisioning a world where that's not the reality that I'm in is like, my brain can't really compute it. And I'm still super excited about it.
Right. And not just a time stamp, but like 6-minute increments, like down to the T, which I cannot fathom because that's so outside of my operating system. But it's also, you have moved from that into different relationship with time too.
Yeah, I have. I mean, that has been a huge journey for me though, truthfully, because I still feel like I have a lot of rule sets and programming around, well, even just like what you said this morning, you have them too, productivity. Like what did I actually accomplish by this time today? And we're so wired in our society to be like, well, if I didn't check things off a list, if I didn't actually get that thing done, if I didn't accomplish the thing I said I was going to do, I wasn't productive. But what if the productivity, and this is what I'm really trying to reframe for myself, which is why I'm saying it out loud so I can have you help keep me accountable. What if the productivity was just like sitting like a bump on a log and staring at the wall and letting creative downloads and things come through you? Like what if the productivity looks totally different in the new world because we're out of the rat race hustle and bustle and insanity of the hamster wheel every single day where it's literally Groundhog's Day, which wasn't that just this week? Wasn't it yesterday?
I think so, because I've seen memes going around about like the old school movie with Bill Murray, and I'm like, oh, that we must be a long time.
It's a February thing, and then it's like supposed to be all about the weather or the winter or whatever. I don't even know what Groundhog's Day is really.
They hold up the groundhog. How many like days of winter there are left?
Okay, yeah. So, anyways, our relationship with time is changing, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
Have you noticed expansive time at all in the last few weeks or months?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're experiencing both, but it's like that accordion thing. It goes out and then it comes back in.
Yes. And I've had a lot more of an ability to chill because that's our birth order. And I'm usually a lot easier on myself because you're fast paced firstborn. And it still seems like there has been such a shift that I'm feeling it more, where it's almost like putting more pressure onto, okay, there needs to be more things done.
Well, and I think it's a little bit of a double-edged sword for you because yes, you're the baby. And so you've always had more of a like, da, da, da energy about you. Just kind of like a...
Literally my shirt, like Lauryn Hill.
Oh, Lauryn Hill. It's the vibe. Yeah.
It says, how are you going to win when you ain't right within? So
yes, I love that. So that's always been more of your vibe.
Yeah.
But then I say double-edged sword because as a mom who also owns a business, your time literally is contracted because there's a tremendous amount of your time devoted to parenting, which means Uber driving a lot of the time. I call it an Uber. And just like, oh, the kids forgot that. Like you have your whole schedule can be upended in a moment's notice, oftentimes, which then cuts into your productivity. And I'm not saying it to like push on a bruise, I swear, because it's the best life ever and they're the best.
It's an open wound, actually, because just this morning, they couldn't sleep in because, she got home from dance at like 10 o'clock last night. She still has to shower, do all of that. So to wake up at 6:30, and she does that every single Tuesday morning. Stays up late, wakes up at 6:30. And it's a lot, especially when she danced so much this weekend. So I was like, you guys can sleep in.
So wait, let me interrupt you for a second. So you're saying, because today's Tuesday, so you're saying last night, because she has late dance on Mondays,
yes,
and then has to shower and do the whole production. So you told them they can sleep in on Tuesdays, and then you bring them.
Yeah, not every Tuesday, just today.
Got it.
Yeah,
got it.
Okay. She had a lot of dance this weekend. So, anyways, that was already the plan. Garrison was going to get his haircut, But it was like several other things created a hiccup this morning. So what was like going to initially be an hour carved out of my day additionally to parent, it was beyond that. So yeah, I mean, it's life.
But that's why you're so good at it, because you're already go with the flow. I mean, I just feel like I've learned so much from you about that ease and flow and surrender, because I'm usually a little crunchier with it. I mean, this is a perfect example because my children have 4 legs. I literally had to get down to a meeting at 11:30 at the site for Discover Strength because we just started construction.
So exciting.
And of course, my meeting before that ended at 11. And then I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to get done in that half an hour before I have to run down the hill. So I'm like, okay, I can just get stuff done until 11:25, right? Because then I can just throw on my shoes and run down there because I'm trying to maximize my time. I always got to maximize the time. So it's 11:25. I'm going to put my shoes on. And Belle, she has to pick up my slipper and then start walking around the house with it. So I get Catch is ready, she's on the leash. Maeve is ready, she's on the leash. I go, Belle, if you're not over here in 2 seconds, I'm leaving. Literally, I'm leaving. I walked out the front door, shut the door, because I'm like, I'll just carry her leash. I'm not going to bring her. I'm so annoyed with her that she can't get her act together. And then I was like, chill out. This is like an extra 30 seconds. Go back in the house. But I'm just telling you, if I had 2-legged children, I might have sometimes left them at home if they weren't ready.
Yeah.
Patience can wear so thin, which sounds so terrible.
No,
I think that's one of the things that motherhood forces you to you have no choice. You have to be patient.
1,000%. And Belle, being the baby of the family, is that energy for you. That's like, slow down, smell the roses.
She's helped me be real present.
Yeah.
Trust me. Real present. It's like what we always talk about with Dad and how he has this seemingly unending ability to just stand around, hold purses, hold bags, stare at a TV when the game is on, wait for us, everyone getting their hair done. No idea how he does it. Literally no idea.
No idea. And he'll give very gentle reminders of how much time we have before we need to leave somewhere. And we're all like, yep, as we haven't even started our hair or doing whatever. Yeah.
I'm just getting out of the shower. What time is Christmas church? And he's just downstairs totally chill about it. Yeah.
No. God,
it's so funny.
Yeah, it's a superpower for sure.
It really is. Well, I am excited for this year because you started out talking about the time thing. I just think everything is going to start moving so much faster, and we're already seeing it. So some of the themes that I keep reading about for 2026, which, as you and I know, I'm not an astrologer, you're not an astrologer, we're not fortune tellers, but I would say intuitively, we're receiving information a lot for sure, and synthesizing a lot of stuff that we're seeing online and getting in different programs and mentors. But this whole fire horse year, which is so significant, and it starts on February 17th, so it hasn't even started yet. It's starting with, I want to say it's an Aquarius full moon. I can't remember if it's a full moon or a new moon, but there's a moon cycle that happens on the 17th. And that's when Chinese astrology starts. That's when the new year starts. And some of the themes are like massive truth.
Loud truths coming to the surface, which we've already started to see.
Yeah.
I mean, really in the last like 6 years, maybe they haven't been loud, but that's when the truths have started to come to the surface for me. Yeah, the loud truths, the rebellion, the fight for freedom.
Yes. The revolutionary energy. There's a ton of revolutionary energy this year, which is kind of cool. I mean, disturbing in some ways, but like really exciting in other ways. I actually am in a program right now where my mentor said, we've moved past the timeline where like the country is going to break out in civil war, which is exciting to hear.
Amazing.
It's like, okay, and I literally just heard this last night and I was like, oh, thank God. So, because it seemed, I think, for the last several weeks that we could be headed there. Mm-hmm. And there was that kind of energy astrologically in the last fire horse year in 1966. So I think it's exciting that as a collective, we've chosen to rise above and get our resonance high enough where we're not going to end up like, breaking out into civil war, at least in this country.
Right.
Which is exciting.
Well, and you go online and you see so much divisiveness and hatred and like anger and whatever. But in my everyday, I don't, even when I've had conversations with people, if we disagree on some things, it's usually very like amicable. I mean,
yeah.
And so when people are living in the online space and it looks like this like dread and chaos and whatever, and they're not just having conversations with their neighbors like they used to do in community, and you'd go to the cafe and you go wherever and you actually sit down and talk to people. People are just missing out on the actual pulse of our commonalities, which is just sad.
That's so true. It's so true. I do think, and I know people say this a lot, but I genuinely think that most people agree on more than they disagree on. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, there are just too many of us, I'll say us, because I've been stuck this way in the past. I no longer choose to do this, but too many of us who get stuck in the right versus wrong, right versus left, Republican versus Democrat, my side versus your side, this modality versus that modality. Like, there's no shortage of things to be like, no, I'm right. This is my way. I'm convicted about this. And once you have genuine, like, understanding that you're contributing to the problem, as long as you're feeding the polarity, and you can take a step back and be like, wait. This is what the evil powers want us doing. They want us fighting. They want us disagreeing. They want us seeing each other as the other. And then you realize, like, that's not even real. That's all part of the illusion that people have created. And because they keep feeding the polarity by taking a side, by taking a stand, by I'm this way, this is what I believe in, you can't change my mind. It's like, wait, I get that you're principled. I love that. I'm very excited that you're principled. And just know that to some degree, that also feeds polarity. That's also contributing to the problem of the division, when what we all need to do, I think, is rise above the division and like love each other as much as we love ourselves. And for some people, it's like love yourself as much as you love each other, but like really emanate from that place of love in the heart space.
Yeah. I mean, love thy neighbor, and understanding that not only is it feeding into the negative energy, but it is a lack of emotional intelligence and really just logic to ignore the nuance in everything. Yes. I mean, to see everything as so black and white is so limiting. And I could have a conversation with people from any kind of belief, and like at minimum, unless they're, some kind of evil, whatever. But
yeah,
for the most part, at minimum, understand how they have that perspective from the lens that they have, from the experiences they have in the background.
I think we just came out with merch. I think we need to come up with merch that says nuance is the answer.
Yes.
Right? When you said nuance, I was like, we need even just a shirt that says nuance. Like, just make people start thinking about that concept, because it is so true. There are very few things at all, if anything, that's truly black and white. And nuance really is where you can find so much commonality. It's so true.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping that people are going to be more attracted to it for the sole reason that it doesn't feel so combative.
Yes.
You can take a place of neutrality, which, as we know,
Yep.
is where we're working, towards. If you're in anger, fear, shame, you can
Yep.
go into it, but it's above those on the cone of consciousness.
Yeah, the frequency cone. Okay,
Yeah.
so when you think about 2026, like what are you most excited for this year? Like what do you feel like are the things that are either coming, or is it just like, I have no idea what's coming and that's what's exciting? Or do you feel like you have, I don't know, either an intention that you set for the year, or what is coming up for you in terms of this year?
I was actually just having a conversation with a woman in my DMs. She and I just have connected over social media, and I had shared some stuff that other people had put on their stories. Ashmapath was one, Africa Brooke.
I love Africa Brooke. She's so wise. She's so wise.
Me too. And something about the old world was ending, the new world, is starting. There's no going back. And I'm super excited for that. I mean, I think we can all be nostalgic about, the innocence of our youth, the simplicity, all of that. No question. Like that time was gold. And there's so much good that's coming. I'm really excited about, I feel like we're starting just to get to the beginning phases of more transparency across everything.
Yeah.
And I crave that so much from our leaders, from people online. Like, I think as AI gets more rampant, I think that desire for authenticity goes up. And so people who present themselves, their full selves, as very authentic, that is just so attractive to me. And I'm seeing more people do that.
100%. I think, and I think like intuitively, we're also going to be able to ferret out so quickly the AI generated fake kind of desperate attention seeking pick me energy versus the I'm showing up in my leadership. This is my vibe. This is what I stand for. This is the authentic me. And I'm sharing my truth because I'm here to serve. I think just even discerning between those two archetypes is going to get easier and easier and easier as 2026 goes on. I think it's like I keep saying this about the old world versus now. I'm like, we were so asleep for so long. And I look at the way that the earth was in terms of humanity. It's like we were underneath a big comforter, like the thickest, cuddliest, most amazing duvet comforter ever. And we couldn't see what was going on underneath it because we're all under it. And we're all like totally asleep and had no idea. And then it's like over the last 5 years, a comforter turned into like a thin blanket, and now it's turned into a thin sheet. And now you can see a lot of the shame and trauma and drama and all the stuff that's been happening underneath. And I think with the second they rip that sheet off and it's like everyone's naked, I just think it's so different. The way we're going to experience reality, it's almost like, I don't want to say we're going to be mind readers, but you're just like the bullshit indicator will be so high. Like I can see right through all of this because you can't trick me anymore. Like probably one of our favorite examples is how asleep we were just even at 9/11 and not realizing that that truly was an orchestrated event. You know, people I'm sure have very different opinions on that, but truly, if you research this, it is insane to think about how much noise we were fed at the time that we just believed. Like my favorite fact about it is 2 towers go down, which is obviously significant and horrible and tragic, and there's rubble everywhere. And they just happen to find the passports of the people who did it. I mean, the fact that we bought that hook, line, and sinker in 2001 is like, oh wow, they're saving us. Thank God
provided these for us. It wasn't the government or anybody else that was very convenient. I mean,
yes,
it's wild how naive we can be when we're in the midst of trauma, which that was a traumatic situation. What we believed to be true during that time, I think a lot of it was simply because we were all in fear and we were angry.
Yep.
And those are some of the easiest emotions to prey on, and they know that.
It's the easiest way to control people.
Right.
Keep them in fear, keep them mad, keep them feeling guilty. Now we can control you. And it's like that's how the world has been run for millennia. And we're just waking up to it now, which is why it's the most amazing time to be alive.
I know it. No question we came here to do this whole dance.
Yeah.
And So when we look at what's going on in Minnesota right now, and I mean, you were just here, even though you're in Nashville, you were just visiting Minnesota, so you saw some of it. But just with the anger and the fear and everything that is being felt, I love the messages that are out there. I know that you shared a message about this, but it's just about reminding ourselves to be so protective of our energy, because of how that just mushrooms and that just feeds more and more and more of it.
Yes.
So while those feelings are valid and understandable, but when we sit there and hold that energy for too long, then we're just creating this entire like cloud of fear, anger, shame, all the things that just looms over us.
And it's contributing to all of the polarity, just more and more polarity. I mean, I did feel the fear and the anxiety and the anger when I was in Minneapolis. And I thought, I can see how if I lived here still, it's so easy to get caught up into that collective. It's just that collective emotion. There's a lot of emotion. So then the answer from my perspective, and this is what I would say in my leadership to anyone who this resonates with, is making sure you feel the emotion, do what you need to process through the emotion, and release the emotion, and stand in your power as a leader to set boundaries around poisonous energy that is only going to get you worked up and in fear and in more anger and all of that. We have a choice. I mean, I shared this when I hosted Master Your Energy last week, and people were like, what? I said, there have been several, and I said, this is not in any way political. I'm not saying this to be controversial. I'm saying a factual matter. There have been people killed, assassinated, murdered, whatever, on camera in the last year for a variety of different circumstances. We've all heard of these, some in Minneapolis, some in other states, some in other places. And one of the things that I have made an intentional choice about is I have not watched any of it. I haven't seen it. I have intentionally set a boundary around myself to not see it. And people are like, wait, what? Because it hadn't computed for them that that's actually an option. That you don't actually have to see what everyone is obsessing about, because you can protect your energy and move through it in a different way, where it allows you to say, wow, that's a really sad event. That thing is tragic. That thing is horrible. I feel so sad about it, and release it and let go. And I want to just share one example of this, and hopefully she won't mind if we share it. But remember who is it who died the other day? She wasn't murdered, but she died. The actress who you love?
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara, thank you. Okay, so remember when our sister told us that she told Lucy that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is why I was like, this 8-year-old needs to do a masterclass for adults in emotion, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Our sister tells Lucy, honey, you know, Catherine O'Hara died today. And of course, kids know her as the mom on Home Alone and other movies. And Lucy, in her wisdom, she is such a wise being, bursts into tears, sobs hysterically, sobs for a few minutes, and then lets it go and moves on, is like going about her night. And I'm like, that is a masterclass in what we should all do in terms of our emotion. That is how, as animals in the animal kingdom, as human beings, we are actually supposed to move through emotion. Explode emotion, burst out of us, whether it's crying, punching pillows, having rage, whatever it is, and then actually let it go and let it release out of our central nervous system and focus on, okay, what can I do now to get back to a place, I think, of leadership?
1,000%. And there are so many people who talk about spiritual bypassing, like in our space, where they will say, well, you can't just gloss over things, that spiritual bypassing, you can't just live, laugh, love, and whatever, which is so not what this is, because when you move through the process of emotion, yes, you have to feel it all, but then release is that end piece that so many people are missing. And that also doesn't mean not to stand up in your power for whatever it is that you are personally fighting for. Yep. You know, if you are called to serve humans in the community, great, do that. If you are called to, you know, reach out to your legislators, start signing up for political whatever, great, do that. But it is about the energy you are holding throughout the entire process. And so
1,000%.
I just had a conversation with a guy. Well, I'll just say that for now. He's probably going to be on a podcast at some point. But we have very different political, usually, stances, but a lot of things are still the same, as I always see. But anyways, he kind of asked me my opinion of things that were going on, and I responded to him, and he said, Yeah, that's a unique perspective. I can see why you don't feel fit in with either group. I was like,
Interesting.
yes. I was like, well,
Yeah.
I think that's interesting feedback. But I also feel like when I talk to people, they actually see a lot of the same things too. And
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like if there was ever a time for this divisiveness to crumble in this kind of new, nuanced, bring people together type of party were to ever be successful, that it would come from this era. And so,
Oh, no question.
yeah, that's exciting to me. Although, in that same sentence, I would like to add, I am not waiting for any sort of political person to come and save me or come and save, society.
Totally.
One of the biggest mistakes people can make.
Yeah, I mean, I would say at this point, I truly feel like I'm apolitical in so many ways because I mean it when I say I think it's all poison. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's all toxic. I think it's all distorted. I think probably if you go back to the founding of our country, it was with some level of good intentions, and this is going to actually work. And then over generations of time, it's gotten more and more distorted and more corrupt, and people wield more and more power. And so I mean, in a perfect world, it would just all burn to the ground and we would start over. But
Right.
I think what we're seeing in the collective right now is what that looks like. Like,
Yeah.
the thing that I find fascinating is once you accept that we're literally in the middle of building a new world, which is what we're doing, you could not possibly break the old world overnight and crumble it in one fell swoop, or our whole existence would implode. People couldn't handle it. So it has to happen in drips and drabs like this. It has to start with, for those people who were awake back in 2001, the Twin Towers falling. For those people who understood and foretold the financial crisis, that 2008 period. For those people who understood there was something coming at the end of the Mayan calendar in 2012. But then for those of us who are like, oh wow, since COVID, way more people are waking up. They're waking up to understand what an illusion we actually live in, what like a psyop this is in so many ways. And I just feel like as that continues to happen, the old world is crumbling and we're building the new world at the same time. It's like when the Titanic is going down, you have to be building your new boat to get on. And that's
Right.
what we're doing, whether people realize it or not. And so those of us who actually understand what's happening are working very hard to not get sucked onto the sinking Titanic and to be building the new boat that's going to actually shepherd the world into the next time space continuum, which is exciting.
1000%. And I think there are a lot of people that are wrestling with how they are going to show up in this new space because they're feeling for the first time they want to speak up, or for the first time they want to shift whatever it is that they're doing. They're looking for deeper meaning and purpose. I mean, we saw so many people leaving, their positions, whether it be corporate or just whatever position was not lighting them up anymore. We saw that in 2020 and beyond, but
Yes.
it's like this whole new wave I'm seeing. Just like people telling me that they want to switch careers and
Yes.
yeah.
I'm coaching a couple of people in that right now just because of my big career change. And it's exciting to see professionals like who are doing, in a professional career, like, no, I actually think I need to do this entrepreneurial thing. I'm really called into stuff about energy. I'm called into astrology. I'm called into human design. I'm called into the occult topics that like you would never, I mean, if I would have been talking about this in 2010, I would have been like, what do you even mean? What are you saying? And now it's just that stuff is so much more available to us because we're moving into a more spiritual realm in the new world, which is so fun.
Yeah.
Which is so fun.
Yeah. So you asked me what I'm most excited about for this era. What are you most excited about?
Oh, good question. I think I'm most excited about, so the speed at which we're going to move. That's what I'm most excited about. I'm also most excited about being able to, and this is something I keep working on in these meditations and the masterminds that I do with Karen, as you know, is being able to experience being in this 3D reality, but experiencing it more in a 5D way. So like experiencing yourself as a higher dimensional being, still in this thing that we think is real, that we think this body is real. I think this water bottle, you and I are on a computer screen talking to each other. Like, just how do I navigate being in the world and moving more from being in my mind all the time to operating more out of my heart?
Yeah.
And I think because I have so much going on with both businesses and I have to use my mind so much in a day, my default programming is always, well, obviously everything's about your mind. You have to solve problems. You have to pay bills. You have to, coach with clients. You have to do things that require the mind. but I'm more and more just like putting my hand on my heart to kind of remind myself to come out of here and go back down to here. And I notice it makes me be kinder and more patient and all of the things that I think So I think those are the big things.
Yeah. Well, you're not somebody I think has to work on kindness, but that's sweet. Maybe the patience. Patience for sure. And I think just the irritation. I mean, even just before you and I started recording, remember I told you my podcast producers were saying that I recorded yesterday and the podcast, this sounds weird, so now I have to re-record. And I was just like pissed off about it. Not at them, of course. I'm just annoyed with the whole situation. And then if I get out of my head and get back down here, I realize like, okay, that's somehow for me in a way that I can't really even see yet. Like I don't really know why it's for me, but it is. And so just slow down. It's not the end of the world. You can re-record, Oh, well, I told you about my SD card that got corroded. I lost 2.5 hours of that recording. We released a episode last week that for like a hot little bit, I found a couple edits on there, took it down. We're like, well, we'll release it this week, whatever. I have been frustrated at times with, I haven't released one since this day, or this one didn't come together, but I'm getting more comfortable with understanding that as we're moving into this new world and this time thing, that if I stress out about what's not happening on this timeline, like it is what it is.
Yeah. And it also changes the energy that you bring to it. Like, I just want to pause on what you said because it's so important. Because I even listened to, there's this one woman who I love, who I follow her human design app. And she said, you're going to notice that I'm not going to necessarily post podcasts at a regular cadence anymore because I really want what I'm sharing to be of extreme value. I want it to come through a download of inspiration. I don't want it to be, I always record on Tuesdays or whatever the rule is, because I want it to be I want it to be more in flow. And so, of course, what she's putting out now truly feels more resonant with more people. Yeah. And it could be that just taking that approach instead of the old school way of I do this every Tuesday, I do this on Wednesday, could then allow you to really scale whatever the project is that you're working on because you're doing it more from a place of intuition instead of rule sets and old world masculine programming. Right?
So I'm sure you get this having a podcast now, but I have a separate email for the podcast and I get emails all the time from people who represent, I don't know, whether it be an author or somebody who's got online courses or somebody they've hired an agency to get them on the podcast circuit. And so it's always the same blanket email. It's super inauthentic. Basically, this person wants to come on the podcast to hawk whatever it is that they're doing. And I have absolutely no interest in that. If this person reached out to me individually, we had a conversation, I had a connection with them, I really like what they're doing, awesome. But this whole like detached old world style, I can't do it.
1000%. Like,
cannot do it.
It's so true. I said it earlier, but it's just the term that comes to mind because I've heard this so often. And I love this saying. It's like the pick me energy.
Yes.
And people can feel it from a mile away.
Yeah.
And it feels so transactional. Yes. And it doesn't feel grounded or connected. Now, it's possible that the person on the other end of that who hired a team to put her on podcasts or him on podcasts is actually a lovely human and you have a great conversation. Okay. But coming in with that kind of intro and that sort of outreach is like, no.
1,000%.
Yeah. And I always think about, thinking about that Rogan is obviously still the number one podcast. Like, what would Joe Rogan do? You think he's answering every one of those things that he gets?
Right.
No. He's like, I am talking to people who are interesting to me about things I want to talk about. And that's why my podcast is interesting to people. If I wasn't interested in this stuff and I was just doing let me ask you this first question, and then I have the second question, and I have this, no one would listen to it because it's not interesting. It has to be an organic conversation that flows.
It's the same way I've operated my publishing business. Even if somebody comes around, they might have a good idea and their writing could be workable. If I don't click with this person and I don't love their energy and I can't see myself being excited about working with them for the next 6 months, I'm like, sorry, no, I'm very protective of my energy. Yep. And I know that the more I do that, the more projects that come my way are so aligned. I just had started with a new client the other day and I'm like, gosh, this is right up my alley. And it feels like the more that I fine tune what it is that I want to bring in, the more that's what's brought to me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that, because that is literally like one of the best business tips for all entrepreneurs. Like, figure out who you want to serve and what you want to do, and tell the universe that's what you want more of, and that's what you'll get more of.
Yeah.
Like, I could even use that tip today, just because it can sometimes feel like, oh, but if I say no to this, then I'm turning down all this money. And it's like, so what? That's not the vibe. That's not why you're doing this. You're doing this in service because of the things that light you up. So just like saying yes to more things that light you up. As you were sharing that story, I was thinking about your human design. Remind me of what is it with your generator, sacral? You're like, I don't want to say it's like, oh my God, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no, but it's something like that for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I feel it in my gut, and it's made for interesting discussions in a marriage, because, as you know, Gary is very, pragmatic. He's very logical. Although we've learned his human design is emotional.
He's an emotional authority, which is, you got to give him time and space to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but when in discussion, it appears more like I need to have, the plan for this. Like, I want you to show me, the proof is in the pudding. And I'm like, I operate on vibes. I don't know what to tell you, but it's never steered me wrong. And, luckily, over the years, I've been able to prove to him that works for me, and that's how I should operate. But
I love it. I operate on vibes. And the thing is, because he's so funny, like just when he makes jokes about getting his chakras aligned, because he has no idea what it means and just says it, like he's just a riot. I genuinely believe that he like loves this stuff kind of secretly and like wants to learn. He just doesn't
whether
really
he
understand.
knows it or not, he's such a high vibrational human that I think he's just not as attracted to it, because the work for just attracting positive energy, he just already does that. Like,
Right.
He's the type of guy that goes into a room and he changes the energy rather than is a chameleon to it. And I've always been more of a chameleon. And so that's something I'm always constantly working on. Like, if somebody else has like lower bad vibes, I can just be kind of like, okay. But he'll just go in and like confidently change the energy of the room.
He does. Which is so funny, because now that you're saying that, it's so true what you're saying about him. But you said to him, even when he's going through like his pragmatic and how we're going to do this, and this step comes after this step, and you're like, I don't know, I just decide on vibes. He kind of does too, whether he realizes it or not, because he is the vibe. Like he literally is, which is so fun about him. But it's why he's so well liked by so many people, because he makes everyone feel good, which is like such a skill. Yeah, it's awesome. I sometimes wonder where he gets it. Like, does he have a secret battery that we don't have? That
his sister is the exact same way, in that she's always like going Energizer bunnying, stays up late, gets up early. Every time I see her, she's just full of enthusiasm and like happiness. I'm like, what?
What do they have in the water in Blaine growing up?
I don't know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Tina was like that. That's so fun. Yeah, because he can literally, the guy can operate on 5 hours of sleep, like consistently, and do it without being crabby, by the way. Like, be in a good mood about it, be super happy, and you're like, don't you hate everyone right now for an hour?
Coffee and feed Fozzie, and he'll have been up for a while, and we'll come down, and I'm kind of still getting my bearings. He'll be like, hey guys, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, just need a second, get some coffee. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. And Garrison is your type, and Whitney is his type.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So funny.
Has the loudest alarm possible on his phone, and we will hear it from like downstairs and go up, and he's like sawing logs next to it.
Stop. He still doesn't hear it? Well, Stace?
He's getting better at it, but it's been a process.
That's so funny.
His alarm goes off at 6:30, and she's up and at him and getting ready. So.
Oh yeah, she's up like before her alarm. She doesn't even hit snooze. It's just like, oh my God, everyone needs more of that energy.
I know.
Okay, so we both talked about 2026 and what we're excited about. I love talking about parenting stuff with you. Can we talk about that for a little bit? Because I think you're really good at it.
Well, thanks.
I really do. I think you're really good at it. What do the kids, I mean, obviously I got to spend a ton of time with you guys in Cabo when I'm, fifth wheel of the family, which I love. But what do they have this year coming up? Like, are you guys doing the dance trip normally? Does Garrison have all sorts of hockey, baseball, football, like guys in 27 sports?
Yeah, so regular hockey season just ended, and he starts AAA. Also, it's like the spring summer hockey league. So, and he's been with that team for like 3 years. So that starts soon, and then he has traveling baseball,
Oh,
and that coincides with Whitney's busy dance season. So
yeah. The dance is a
there's
lot.
several weekends where it's like boys are going this direction, we're going that direction, which is hard because I don't like missing anything of Garrison's, and obviously I love being the four of us together, but
Yeah.
just how it's going to be for several years, I think.
What is your favorite thing about this stage that they're in right now?
Oh my God, so much. I mean, every stage they've gotten to, I'm like, ooh, this is my favorite. Ooh, this is my favorite. But this stage, they're starting to have like, Brooke and I were just talking about this, like more not grown up issues, but just more real issues that like, take cover. And it might not even be theirs, but just like at their age or their, where the discussions are deeper. I don't censor music like I used to. So like we can listen to like some of my favorite like songs together, their music. So being able to just enjoy music together.
I feel like the other thing I've noticed about them is like their personalities are developing so much more into who they really are. Like Garrison has so many funny idiosyncrasies and Whitney has so many, but they're totally different from each other.
Totally. Yep.
Which I just love because I feel like they're just I guess what I'm saying is they're coming into their own person more. And they're what, 11 and 13 now?
11 and just turned 14.
Oh yeah, 11 and 14. That's right. She's 14.
Garrison's almost 12.
Yes.
Yeah, but for sure seeing their personalities and how much Garrison and I are alike. I mean, like he is
So true, dude.
how much he wants to make people laugh all the time and how he's just kind of flashes that little like mischievous grin. And yeah, is the baby, likes to be taken care of. And then how Whitney is so much like Gary, where everything's good, like all the time. Right? Everything's good.
She's me. Yeah.
And nothing ruffles her feathers. She gets her stuff done, like efficient. Yeah.
You in line. It's like, Mom, I have to be at dance at this time. Mom, I checked your emails and this is what's going on in a dance. Mom, I have to. It's like, thank you for managing your own life at the age of 14. Thank you.
If I could just hire her as an assistant, she would be a phenomenal.
1000%. She'd be so good. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. So I just feel like we're getting closer and closer to them all the time. And I feel like it's such a sweet spot because, she's going to get her permit next year. And then pretty soon she's going to.
Oh my God.
But even next year, she goes to high school. She'll be riding with Maddie and Devin because Devin drives next door and she'll be riding with Maddie. So I'm losing that time in the car with her.
Oh, yeah.
School.
That's hard.
This feels like such a golden year where they're both in school. We're spending a lot of time with them in the car.
Yes.
So I'm really
You just have to keep doing because it's like going to be fleeting more and more. So it's really important this year. That's such a good point. I forgot she gets her permit next year. That's crazy.
I know. And it's another thing that has, I have a lot of goals with things I'm working toward with work, with podcasts, with publishing, with my own writing. But it's also such a golden season of parenting. So I've really accepted that, like, my first priority is always going to be them and parenting. And if that is requiring the vast majority of my energy right now, great.
Totally agree. You will never regret that. You will never regret that, ever. Because they're only this age once, which is so amazing. Well, one of the things that I keep wanting to talk to you about, I'll just say it on the podcast, because then we're putting it out there in the universe, is I want the four of you to come to Nashville and for us to have a weekend in Nashville. And so what I would need to do at some point, and I know it's so hard with all of their activities, but just like you and Steph came after I moved here, I just thought it would be so fun if I can find like some kind of country concert that we could take them to. You know what I mean? Like sometime when it's like a vibe to be here in Nashville.
Right. Well, we're going to Morgan Wallen in April.
I did know that. And that's at US Bank Stadium, isn't it? In Minneapolis?
Yes.
Okay.
We're so excited about that. And we saw Old Dominion we all met up at that concert last summer. So that would be right up their alley.
I forgot that you're doing that in April. That's right. It's when he's coming to Minnesota.
Well, and Gary has still never been in Nashville.
Which is insane.
I know.
He would love it. He literally would walk down Broadway and everyone would be his friend. within 1 hour. I mean, seriously, that's how he is. He'd make friends with, I'd probably be walking down the streets with the dogs 2 weeks later and they'd be like, hey, is your friend Gary, right? I met Gary. It's like, yes, thank you. Everyone knows Gary. No one knows us.
We had high school registration and I walked in with her and all of her friends were sitting down and I was like, hi. And then Gary walked in behind us and they all go, Gary. I was like, yeah.
Stop. Of course. Do you know how many times I tell the story of you bringing Gary to your high school reunion when you guys were dating? Maybe you were married already. Do you remember? Were you married? I think you were married. Or was it your 5-year?
We might have been married. No, it was 10 years. So
you would have been married because you got married in 2008, right?
Yeah.
Here's how I tell the story. Okay, so don't ruin a good story with the facts. This is my version of it. This is what I tell. I tell everyone that you bring Gary to your high school reunion. And basically, because he's has the amazing ability to go out and meet people and be friendly and make all these friends, that somewhere in the middle end of the night, people are coming up to you and are like, have you met this guy named Gary? Like, he's amazing. Basically, that's the story I've created in my mind, that by the end of the night, people are saying to you, Lindsay, you got to meet this Gary guy. I don't know where he came from, but he's amazing. So
that would be a great story.
I think that's the best version. That's basically what I have concocted it. What's the real story, maybe?
I mean, that's what we do with stories, though. Like, especially in our family, we just always just take it one step
elevate
further.
It. One more level. Like, how much more extreme can we make it? Yeah. I mean, the next version, I'll tell you, it's like he was voted class president of your class by the end of the night. That'll be the next version. For sure. So what's the real story?
It was basically me just like bumping into people and saying, meeting their spouse or whatever and say, Gary's around here somewhere. And I'd look across the room and he's like chatting with people I went to high school with, haven't seen in years.
Of course. Of course.
And that was one of the things that, when Mom always would sit on the couch and just listen to us. And I don't know, whenever we had issues in high school, my friends would come over, Mom would listen, give advice.
Yeah. We called her Oprah. Her Oprah. Yep.
After my first big breakup, I was so devastated. And then she was like, okay, well, you cried about it, blah, blah, blah. What is it that you want? And really thinking about that was one of the things that was important to me, is being able to be with somebody who I could go places with where I wouldn't have to
babysit them.
Yes.
Yes.
Just having somebody who felt comfortable enough in their own skin that they could stand on their own 2 feet. And I wasn't even necessarily thinking like working the room like that, but just somebody who was confident and assured in and of themselves, because that's how Dad always has been. And
for sure. And it's just attractive. It's attractive to know that, especially if you're an outgoing person and have a lot of friends, just to know that you can have someone by your side that doesn't have to stand there in your shadow, but like has their own independent, personality. So for whatever it's worth, I've been requesting that from the universe for a while too, but he hasn't shown up yet. I mean, I would say that Dave was that way. My ex-husband was definitely that way. He was very much, could work a room, was very funny. So the next guy will have that too.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
I know. I wanna like put my requests in of what this person is going to be, whatever. No, but in all honesty, I know when you find your person, it's just gonna be like, oh, well, of course.
I have been saying that for a while. It's like I'm literally gonna have this big exhale and be like, there he is.
You are.
Okay. I know. It's gonna be so obvious to me.
But the reality is, you are breaking ground at your new Discover Strength
today. Yeah, literally birthing a baby today. It's starting. Yeah. The birth process.
Baby. Yep. You have online courses, several of them. You have one-on-one clients. You have a podcast. You have 3 4-legged dogs.
Yeah.
And I'm probably forgetting.
It's a busy season. It's for sure a busy season because of building Discover Strength right now and building both businesses. No question. Yeah. And what I'm trying to do is to stop saying language, because I used to say this a lot. I would say my business is my boyfriend. And it's like, you can't say that to the universe. The universe is like, okay, I guess you don't want a boyfriend. You already have a boyfriend. It's like, stop talking like that. Stop manifesting that. I mean, even this, I don't know if I showed you this. My friend, former client, Melissa, I ran with her. Well, we did Grand Canyon.
Oh, yes.
She's an amazing artist, okay? Like an amazing artist. Yeah. Really good. Mm-hmm. So I have to show you this. I'm literally going to grab it. Okay. I bought this piece of art from her and I love it. But like literally 2 or 3 weeks after I bought it, I have to show you this. It's so beautiful. Is that pretty?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's insane. So I bought it. And my point is, I had then a feng shui person say to me, you can't have things up that are about a single woman if you want to call it partnership. Oh. And I'm like, wait, what? But that makes so much sense to me energetically. Like someone else told me, if you want to call in partnership, start putting like your stones, like I have all these crystals, put them in the bed next to you. I'm like, okay. So I did that for a while, put a big rock in the bed. And then the dogs are like, what? Because the dogs are in bed with me. And then someone said, okay, you have to have a nightstand on the other side of the bed. You can't just have one nightstand because feng shui, that doesn't work that way. You have to call in space for a partner. And I'm like, interesting. Maybe I also should put like things on my calendar, like save a couple hours for a date here and there, because I don't do enough of that either. But I also am like, I don't feel the need to force anything.
Right.
I feel very open to the fact that, like, I told you I had that one dream. This was last summer where I literally saw him and I saw our life and I saw my new home. And
wait, what was he wearing again?
Remember, he doesn't have a shirt on. Never has a shirt on. Never. This guy does not wear shirts. I'm totally okay with that.
I can't imagine you dating a guy who would wear a shirt because he's going to be.
I mean, he doesn't want to wear shirts. So we live in a warm climate. Apparently, he's not going to wear shirts. He looks great with a shirt off, but he doesn't have a shirt. I can never make out his face. It's like, at least if I could see his face, I could kind of spot him in real life. And then it's like, no, Chris, you just have to look for the guy who never wears a shirt. Okay. You're at the grocery store, no shirt. No, he doesn't have a shirt on. That must be my guy.
It's giving very like firefighter energy. So I feel like we should just start frequenting.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm very excited for whoever he is. He'll pop in exactly as he's supposed to. And, you know, I keep talking about the fact that the amount of people I'm going to now meet once I open this gym, you know,
great.
I mean, that alone is going to just allow me to have so much more connection in this city that I'm pretty excited about that. So it's fun.
So fun. I mean,
it is. It'll come in exactly the right time, and I know it will.
I know. There's a guy I've told you about in my DMs before who I used to work with, and every time I share a picture of you and I or something with you and I, he just puts like heart eyes and big things. Like he's got such a crush.
So funny.
I know.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
But he's a Minnesota guy.
Well, and that's the thing is I'm like, now that I'm here, I just feel like it's a totally different pool. And then when I hear women who I've met in Nashville be like, oh, dating is the worst here. I'm like, nope, I'm plugging my ears. Don't give me that energy. I'm not accepting any of that energy. You know what I mean? When women say over and over, there's no good guys. All the good guys are taken. All the good guys are married. I can't find anyone, blah, blah, blah. It's like, don't talk like that because that's literally the reality that you're manifesting. Don't believe those things.
And Brooke's episode was released today. So people will hear this after the fact when they listen to Brooke's first. But she talks about, you know, she lost her husband in 2000 and it's 2000.
Is that what year it was?
Yeah. It was at the height of COVID.
You mean 2020?
I'm sorry.
2020. You said 2000. I was like, that doesn't make sense in my brain. 2020. Thank you. Yeah. That tracks. Okay.
And so, you know, thinking about being a single mom living in a, you know, pretty tight-knit community, just
with lots of families.
Yeah. Meeting somebody.
Yeah.
And, you know, people were suggesting dating apps and whatever, but like that wasn't her path. And she's met somebody and it happened so organically. And
so amazing.
And it literally is all about timing. And now things make sense in reverse, you know?
Yes, totally. They make sense in reverse. That's a really good point. So I'm going to look back on it and be like, oh, that's why all of those steps had to take place, you know?
I've saved so many videos recently just about, and I know this, I know this, I know that you know this. We've learned about this since back in the day when, like, I remember discovering The Secret when I was just started teaching that, like, video, the book, and about
Rhonda Byrne.
Yes, and you really have to just feel into what does it feel like to be that person, that version of yourself.
Yes.
That has, you know, accomplished the things that you want to accomplish or acquired the things, whatever it is. And so that's something that I've been trying to think about more as of late, because for me, you know, we were talking about Gary and I being extroverts. I am an extrovert and I do get my energy from people. So working from home, like my client meetings light me up. Doing podcasts absolutely light me up.
Yep.
And I also very much miss just being in a school where the kids would come up to me, give me hugs. Like I'm such a physical touch person
Yes.
too. And
Yeah.
like working in the hallway in between classes and having people just come by and say hi. Like I miss that so much. So figuring out, how am I filling that part of myself in these next several busy years when I'm so needed by the kids, but I'm building this, business over here, which is more at home. And so trying to figure that out. I've been looking into some volunteer opportunities just because I miss working with like teens and being around that energy too. So.
Well, I was going to say one of the ways that I feel like you have a community network in addition to all the kids' activities and other parents, which is huge. You guys sound like you have some pretty cool people that go to your gym and even just your sauna time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people you've met that way. And I always say I meet so many people in the sauna when I go to my sauna down here. And I'm like, that's some of the best networking and marketing that I do because you have this social time that you get to hang out and relax and like basically, just sit there and get hot together.
Right.
You can have really good conversations. I just met 2 other people. I talked to a guy all about he was quitting smoking and it was his second or third day of not smoking. And so I was just like really encouraging him. He was so sweet. He actually worked as a part of the construction team who built the big building that Discover Strength is going into.
Oh, wow.
And so he's like, I really want to come and try a workout there, which was so sweet. But he said he was feeling so much anger going through the phase of like not being able to have a cigarette. And he almost went and bought a pack of cigarettes the day before because something happened. He goes, and I sat outside the little convenience store and I finally made myself drive away. And I was like, that is amazing. Just like hearing people's real stories. It was so cool.
So cool. We've had some of the best conversations in the sauna. I had a previous client who was 80 years old who I met in the sauna.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just there are a lot of people who I feel like go in there with their headphones on and their phone. And when I'm going to work out, like I can be guilty of doing the same thing if I just need to like get through, do it efficiently. But I love to be in there and unplug from tech and be with, just community. That is nice.
I will say back on the networking front, just because I'm doing a lot of networking now because of Discover Strength. So I'm joining a business networking international group. That's part of one of the things in how we build the business. I've been attending these Connect Network Nashville meetings. I've gone to a couple different women's events and there is just an exciting kind of connectivity when you get more into a community. Even if you do one of those things once a month or twice a month, because I know you have so many things going on with the kids, I think that'll fill you up, whether it's volunteering or a networking type of event. But I know you want to get back with the world of teens.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and both would be great. And I also, with working with teens too, I know teaching them, it takes a while to build that rapport.
Yes.
So we're not something that we're consistent. I don't think it would have that same, effect. So it would be really something I would have to prioritize, make time for, which is also.
Would you ever do an online type of thing? Like, I know you had a client or a former student reach out to you about writing a book. Would you ever do something like that for teens? I mean, I don't know if there's a market for that, but something like where you're connecting with them. But I also get the in-person thing, Well,
I know actually when I was with Mom yesterday, she was talking about Youth for Christ.
Yeah.
Remember we used to do Campus Life.
Yes.
Youth for Christ.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, who does that chapter now? She told me, and I was like, oh, that would be really cool to have that.
Oh yeah, you would be great at that, Lindsay.
That would be
a cool thing for you to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great. Is that organization still around with different chapters all over?
Yeah, I mean, somebody took it over. I forget her name, but she took it over from Dewey in Grand Rapids. So it still exists. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because after they're in youth group in middle school, I don't know exactly what there is for, kind of a faith-based, discussion-based club outside of school.
And I think the world's going to need that kind of stuff more than ever now, Just in terms of even it doesn't have to be specific this religion, just spirituality.
Right.
Some kind of community group like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to make sure we talk about this before I let you go, which is what are you doing for macros right now and eating, and how are you feeling about what you're eating? Because you and I are in the thick of the perimenopause, and I just like to kind of navigate, like, there are days when I'm having bananas because I'm craving more carbs, or I was like buying this keto bread and like overdoing it with keto bread. And then of course I have all of these fandangled, like, I think I told you about these, like protein sodas and things that I found, which pretty excited about this kind of stuff.
Those are good. My favorite are still the ones that Gary put in our stockings.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He got them from Dick's.
What was that brand?
I don't remember the brand, but he got them from Dick's. And
Okay, I'm going to look for those again because I'm going to record a podcast episode all about all these new fandangled protein drinks.
Perfect.
Which, this is the one I recorded yesterday, by the way, that's corrupted in terms of the sound. So apparently it's because I needed to order the Dick's one too. Perfect.
There you go.
Perfect.
Everything works for you.
It does.
So my macros currently, I am trying to stay in ketosis for the majority of the week. And then on Sundays, doing a carb up day. And then due to your, like, this was through our conversation that we just had and suggestions of how I can then get back into ketosis and how I can practice intermittent fasting and then fast on Mondays. And so I did a carb up day Sunday. I fasted for 18 hours yesterday. So
Awesome.
it was whatever in the evening Sunday till about, it was 2:00 yesterday, and that felt good. I was ready to eat.
Yeah, perfect.
I was going to see if I could do like 24 hours, but 18 felt good. And
Perfect.
from what I'm reading, especially different times of your cycles, but in perimenopause, like intermittent fasting can change from what you were doing previously just based on hormones. So I'm just figuring out,
Yeah, just playing around with different things.
Yeah, trying not to, no judgment, just observing.
I'm so curious why I ate 3,000 calories yesterday and I didn't feel full. Wow. I'm so curious. Now, if I do that every day for a while, we're going to have a serious discussion. But every once in a while, my body's like, you need more input. And then I'm like, okay, stop judging it. That's just what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is what my body really wanted Sunday. So Chris knows this, but I played in a parent-player hockey game Saturday, and I was goalie. And I stupidly did a hard leg day workout Saturday morning, not thinking about the game I was playing that night. So
I literally can't believe you did that to yourself, where your legs are already sore, and then it's not. I mean, all hockey positions are hard, but you're goalie, which means you have to be like down and up and down and up with your legs, which is so bad.
Right. It was just dumb. So I was super sore. I'm finally feeling a little bit better, but still like using foam roller and stuff. Anyways, so a carb up day the next day felt good. And then, it's fine.
And carbs can help you recover when you're that sore and that depleted. So that's great.
So you asked what my macros are.
Yeah. What are you setting yours at?
I set my targets at, let me see here. It is, so...
I'm looking at mine too.
Yep. So is it 30% protein, 10% net carbs, and 60% fat?
Okay.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yep. That's what I recommend for a lot of clients. I right now, as of today, so far, I'm at 20% protein, 22% carbs, and 58% fat, which I've really only had one meal, so I've got to get more protein in. But I'm like, where did all those carbs come from? Now I have to look.
I found the Dandy Blend tea.
Yeah.
I'm using a heaping like tablespoon.
Yeah.
And the actual serving size is like a teaspoon. So it
does add a lot of carbs when you do a lot of it.
It's like 12 carbs. I had just like almost half my day's worth of carbs was in my tea this morning.
So have you tried this?
Okay,
unsweetened cacao.
You once.
So unsweetened cacao. So I do 2 tablespoons of this. That's net 2 carbs. 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. Hot water. And organic liquid stevia.
Okay. So good. So wait, what is
Call me, make it, and then call me. You're going to be like, don't talk to me. No one talk to me.
Are there no carbs in the cacao?
So the cacao has 3 carbs in 1 tablespoon and 2 grams of dietary fiber. So it's 1 net carb, and I do 2 tablespoons. So it's 2 net carbs. So it does have 50 calories because there's 25 calories in a tablespoon. But this is unbelievable with coconut oil and liquid stevia and water.
Okay. Yum.
I'm just telling you. And then you know what else I do after I stir it up really well? Because I pour the hot water from the teapot onto 2 tablespoons of this in the bottom of a mug and 1 tablespoon of this. And I pour it in from the teapot and I put in the stevia and I stir it. And then I top it with Redmond's real salt.
I know.
It's like, so no one talk to me while I'm drinking it. You're all annoying. I'm enjoying my drink. Everyone get out of my face. It's
I
that
told
good.
you, Chris introduced us to her Dandy Blend tea recipe where you mix it with protein powder, collagen, or coconut oil, and it gets super frothy. And then you put cinnamon and salt on top. And Gary has literally quit making coffee every morning because he's so obsessed with this tea blend.
I love that he loves it.
He goes, it is better than anything I could get at Starbucks.
I'm so happy about that. So I think you need to share exactly what his recipe is, because if people want to try it, and I can put a link to Dandy Blend under this video, because you can get it on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's like, and for people who are trying to get off caffeine, I mean, obviously he doesn't need caffeine. He is caffeine. He wakes up in the morning, he's happy-go-lucky and whatever. It's so annoying. So he doesn't need it, but he does that, and then he does protein powder. Does he do coconut milk or coconut oil?
We do coconut milk usually.
Okay.
Just like the flavor better, I think. Yeah. And he usually does 50 grams of protein powder. So he'll use 2 different kinds typically. And then, hot water and blend it up. And then it gets super frothy. And then cinnamon and Redmonds on top.
So yummy. So good.
And you don't even need stevia or anything like that because our protein powders are like vanilla flavor.
Yes.
So it adds the flavor to it.
And is he using a collagen protein? He's using like Equip?
He's using collagen and whey. So
he is. Okay, perfect. And he's making it hot, right?
Yep.
Amazing. It sounds so good. I might do that tomorrow. I had this today just because I love it so much. But when I'm trying to stay off the caffeine, you know what I mean? Get this. It's beyond.
Okay. I had it this morning and I haven't had coffee today. So
amazing, honey. Proud of you.
Big girl. Big girl.
Well, I know we're getting to the time where you have to go pick up the kiddos from school. So I just want to say thank you for doing this with me today. This was so fun.
So fun. It's fun to record when we're talking every day anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah. It had been like a year since we did our last one. So we were clearly due.
We're clearly due. Awesome.
All right. I love you so much. This was
I love you too. I love that I do a podcast with you. It's kind of like looking in the mirror. It's fun.
Yeah.
Love you.
No, younger version. Okay. Love you.
Very funny. I didn't come up with something good to say. I hate ending it that way. I think I'm going to give it to you because you're the worst. Love you.